What is going on, guys? It's Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Liv Morgan opens up about her WWE booking, Vince McMahon holds a grudge against WWE superstar debuts a brand new gimmick, Nia Jax sends a profanity-filled message to Shayna Baszler, top star leaving WWE, plus much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get into our first story. Liv Morgan opens up about her WWE booking. Our first story examines the recent comments made by Liv Morgan in relation to her WWE booking. Morgan is one of the most popular stars in the women's division, and although Morgan has maintained this popularity, WWE never seemed to get behind Morgan for much longer than a few months at a time. Morgan is now positioned on SmackDown and is set to face Carmella tonight at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. In relation to the rather frustrating booking that Morgan has been subjected to over the past few years, this is what the SmackDown star had to say in relation to the topic while speaking to Sportskeeda. I feel like the past 2 years of my career I've had moments where I feel like I had so much momentum and was ready for a breakthrough, and then I don't. I do feel like this time is different. I like to think positive, and I'm very much a glass half full. So when I look back, I think maybe I wasn't as ready as I thought, and that's why I didn't break through. Even though I wanted it, maybe I just wasn't ready as a performer. Now I feel so much more well-rounded that I'm ready. I'm ready for that top spot. I'm ready to be that girl. I definitely feel better after Money in the Bank that I'm going to keep the momentum going until I'm SmackDown Women's Champion. It's nice to see Morgan take a rather humble and respectful approach to her poor booking over the years, and hopefully this time WWE fully invests in Morgan and gives her a substantial push as WWE head into 2022. Does Vince McMahon hold a grudge against NXT? When NXT went head-to-head with AEW on Wednesday nights, it was clear that WWE Chairman Vince McMahon believed that NXT would defeat AEW in the ratings battle. That wasn't the case, and NXT would eventually move to Tuesday nights, whilst AEW remained a permanent fixture on Wednesdays. Following this major defeat for the NXT brand, inaugural AEW World Champion Chris Jericho believes that Vince holds a grudge against the entire NXT brand and their superstars. Jericho believes that because NXT lost the Wednesday Night Wars, Vince simply can't view NXT in a positive light. This would therefore explain why Vince decided to revamp the show and take the brand in a completely new direction. Jericho revealed, "What I think is, and once again I can say this from just observing, is that NXT was put on Wednesday nights, obviously that's to combat AEW, and we'll wipe out this pissant little company right away. Problem is they had no idea what they were dealing with. It really backfired on them. NXT was so cool. You guys would do your weekend shows and get 3 times the reaction in a sold-out arena than the pay-per-view would get. So when they put NXT up against AEW, it really hurt the brand to where you lost the cool factor and AEW was the cool one. NXT just got steamrolled, and I think, as a result, Vince kinda holds a grudge against NXT. You had the chance to beat AEW and you didn't. Now I'm going to take over and I'm going to do it my way." What do you guys make of Jericho's comments? Do you think he's right? And does Vince actually hold a grudge against the entire NXT brand? Let us know in the comments below. Nia Jax sends a profanity-filled message to Shayna Baszler. On the latest edition of Monday Night Raw, Shayna Baszler was successful in a match against her former tag team partner Nia Jax. After the match, Shayna brutally attacked Nia by trapping her hand in the ring steps and stomping on it with malicious intent. It was revealed later in the week that Nia was going to be out of action for an extended period after she suffered an elbow posterior fracture and a dislocation to her left elbow. It's unclear how long Nia will be on the shelf for, but WWE are stating that she's required to have surgery to repair the damage. It is rumored that these two will continue their feud once Nia returns to TV. Nia's tweet from yesterday supports these rumors as Nia would tweet, "You are a literal piece of shit, Shayna Baszler." With Nia off TV, it certainly leaves a big hole in the Raw Women's division, so hopefully WWE begins to feature those superstars who have struggled for TV time over the past few months. It's worth noting that the direction and rosters of the women's division on both Raw and SmackDown will change when the highly anticipated WWE Draft takes place next month. WWE Superstar debuts bizarre new gimmick before SmackDown. Shane Thorne has been absent from WWE TV for over 6 months. Thorne was formerly a part of the Retribution stable, where he portrayed a character known as Slapjack. Although the gimmick that Thorne possessed in the stable was truly awful, Thorne had a lot of potential, and WWE clearly realized this, as Thorne was kept under contract during the mass cuts WWE made to the roster a few months ago. Thorne would resurface during Friday's SmackDown tapings, and he debuted a rather interesting new gimmick. Thorne would wrestle a dark match before the show went on the air, and Thorne's new gimmick seems to be a Crocodile Dundee-style character. Thorne will also be using the Shane Thorne name moving forward, so fans will be pleased to hear that the Slapjack name is officially dead. Thorne would defeat Austin Theory during the dark match, and it's unknown at this stage when, or even if, the new gimmick will debut on WWE TV. Thorne took to Twitter yesterday to make some comments about this new gimmick. He would tweet, "Just to let you know, what I'm trying now is all me and my ideas. A huge inspiration for me is Nikki ASH, and you can't deny that she's doing incredible. Wrestling can be fun, so relax, mate, and let's have a good one." Thorne also posted a gif of the beloved Steve Irwin alongside the tweet, so it's clear who Thorne's inspiration for the outlandish gimmick is. Rey Mysterio has no interest in wrestling Dominik Mysterio. In recent weeks, one of the top storylines on SmackDown has been Dominik Mysterio branching off on his own. This has had mixed results for Dominik, and fans believe that WWE are planting the seeds for Dominik to turn on his own father, Rey Mysterio. According to Rey himself, he has no desire to wrestle Dominik in WWE, and he would rather pass the torch to him by giving him his mask once he retires, rather than wrestle him in a father versus son showdown. Speaking to Alex McCarthy from TalkSport, Rey revealed, "I think in a perfect world I would love to step out of the ring and kind of just pass the torch on to my son. You know, a lot of people talk about the possible turn in father versus son. For me, it would mean much more to take my mask off and say, here, it's your time, I'm stepping away, continue with this. Write it." It remains to be seen if WWE will honor Rey's wishes, but it certainly looks like WWE has a strong desire to feature Dominik in a singles role. Top WWE star leaving the company? It's been reported over the past few weeks that the WWE contract of Kevin Owens is set to expire in early 2022. According to a recent report by Fightful, Owens may not be the only one reassessing his career options by the time the new year comes around. Fightful reports that former NXT champion Johnny Gargano's contract is set to expire in December of this year, and the talented NXT star is yet to sign a new deal. Gargano has been a key part of the NXT brand for a number of years now, and it would certainly seem strange to see him anywhere other than NXT. What do you guys think Gargano should do? Would you like to see him re-sign and stay with WWE, or possibly even join AEW? Let us know in the comments below. Becky Lynch yells at young fan. Since Becky Lynch returned to WWE programming at SummerSlam, she's taken on the role of a heel. This was a rather controversial move, as Becky was one of the most popular female talents of all time, and to turn her heel was a huge risk. Nevertheless, WWE have booked Becky to be in a feud with popular babyface Bianca Belair over the SmackDown Women's title. The two are now set to meet tonight at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. This will be the duo's first 1-versus-1 match outside of SummerSlam to air on WWE TV. Fans in attendance at Friday's edition of SmackDown managed to receive an early Extreme Rules preview, as Becky and Bianca got physical during a dark match after SmackDown went off the air. Fans in attendance shared footage of a hilarious moment which featured Bianca allowing a young fan to use her hair to whip Becky. Once the match between the two was over, Becky would confront the young fan, and Becky would even yell at the fan, giving the fan a truly once-in-a-lifetime experience. TNT threatened to cancel AEW Dynamite forever. Our final story takes a look at how TNT actually threatened to cancel AEW Dynamite. For some context, on the October 30th, 2019 episode of Dynamite, Chris Jericho smoked a cigarette, and according to Jericho, this made TNT executives absolutely furious, so much so that they almost pulled Dynamite from the air forever. Speaking to Stephanie Chase, Jericho revealed, There's a few times I can recall when they say, "Don't do that again." One of them was when we beat up Dustin Rhodes in the parking lot, and as we left, I lit up a cigar. They did not like that. No smoking allowed on the show. They were super angry about it. No smoking allowed. I was like, really? Out of all the things, that's what they're mad at? They were very adamant they didn't want any smoking on the show, and if we did it again, I don't know if this was used, but the way it was told to me was, "We'll pull the show if you guys do it again." Alright, I don't need to be smoking. I just did it because I thought it was an asshole thing to do. Apparently, so did they. It's rather interesting that TNT has a strict non-smoking policy in relation to what AEW can broadcast. TNT have been extremely lenient with AEW's product. They've allowed profanity and blood, but it appears as if smoking live on air is simply a no-go for Tony Khan's promotion. There you have it, folks, the wildest wrestling news, stories, and rumors you need to know. Don't forget to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time back for some more wrestling content.